which is beginning in the fall at JCTC 2022 semester. Um, and we're beginning work on it now in April 2022 in order to make sure everything's run smoothly and everybody feels informed and understands what the project's about. So I'm just making this little recording to go over it for anybody who would want to know more about it and cannot attend any informational meetings. So what is Americans Who Tell the Truth? Americans Who Tell the Truth is a project that now includes over 255 portraits. As you can see, Robert Shetterly, the artist here, is painting a portrait of Malian Dana, who is the Penobscot ambassador to the state of Maine, representing the indigenous rights of people in Maine in that particular area. And Rob has painted over more than 18 years actually. As of 2001, he began painting in response to his own depression about the direction of the country with the Iraq War, and of course we all know how that played out now, but at the time he felt very distressed, so he began to paint portraits of people from our country that helped remind him of the things that he felt connected to and believed in. And that story is told in the documentary, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. You can read more about that by going to the website, americanswhotellthetruth.org. But now the project's been in existence since 2001, and my name's Michelle Pullen, and I've been involved with the project for 18 years, since I first brought it here in 2004 with my middle school students. So it's been a long journey, and I've written curricula, done a lot of work, used it in my courses at JCTC and other colleges, and also trained teachers in it around the country. So, and done research in the outcomes that it brings to classrooms. So JCTC will be hosting Rob as in an artist in residency, and have a post-film discussion with him, and that date will be announced in the fall of 2022. And Bernheim Forest is also creating their own event, cooperating with our E-Town campus and the local high school, and they'll be bringing Rob to do a screening of the documentary in a separate event, and they will be actually proposing a truth teller for him to paint from our area, and that portrait will be unveiled at their event and added to the Americans Who Tell the Truth portrait collection. So as soon as I know who that is, I'll begin researching curricula and support for that. The other thing Americans Who Tell the Truth is portraits, as I mentioned, and you can see here now. This was when there were new ones added, and they posted them on the website. So you can go to the website and see all of that. But here's a little snapshot of some of the more recent ones that were added to the collection. And you'll see on the page, on the portraits page, that each of the portraits has a biography. Usually you print those out, there maybe 2 or 3 pages at the most. So they're a summary biography of the work of each person that Rob has painted. And you'll also notice on the portraits, you can see writing. So when Rob paints someone at the end, he and the person he's painted agree on a quote that will be carved into the portrait. So I will let you explore that on the website. And JCTC will be purchasing 10 fine art prints of the curated collection by JCTC faculty and staff. So we will be doing professional development for faculty and staff that will be made available prior to the opening of the exhibit. So you'll see that each print will have biographies, curricula, assignments, and suggested activities, JCTC library resources, and then you'll have access to me, the project coordinator. And there's also a documentary called Truth Tellers that we will be showing. You can click on the link here and see the trailer for it. And this will also be screened outdoors at the Bernheim event and available for the documentary as there was for the portraits, prints, professional development, curricula, suggested assignments, activities, and other ways of engaging. So hopefully that will be helpful. And that date of the documentary screening will be announced when we also book Rob's artist in residency. And we will have books and library resources. The library staff is gathering a collection of what's already available and purchasing copies of titles related to the fine art prints and their biographies. And there will be copies of both of Rob's new books. One of them is already out, Portraits of Racial Justice. And you can link to that here and learn more about that. And there is a copy of that in the library currently. And Portraits of Climate Justice will be released in September when we begin all of this, so that will be good timing. We have some community partnerships with folks who are already working on this project. As I mentioned, I've been working with it around the country for 18 years, and we've had a lot of interaction with it, including several interactions with it through JCTC. Currently, Art Magnet Coordinator Cindy Young at JCPS has spent the semester already working with students, and they have produced their own portraits of local truth tellers. So I will be sure to show you photographs of those as soon as I can, but we're also hoping to host an event where they come back and are able to see the prints and the documentary and also share their own art. So that's a community partnership event that we're working on. That will also happen in the fall when Rob's here. And there are partnerships available already to us because of the work of the project in the past. And those include these agencies. Many teachers have been trained to use the curriculum in the classroom. I need to add here the Kentucky Center for African American Heritage because I wanted to highlight this because there are banners in that center of many of the portraits. They're hanging from the ceiling of the center. So I'm emphasizing this. If you wanted to go see those, they're pretty amazing. And Rob donated the images so that those could be printed and hung there. So I wanted to make sure you knew you could see those in advance if you wanted to. And you can see this a nice list here, but this is not an inclusive list by any means, but these are people who have committed to being involved in what we're doing at JCTC this semester. So my hope is not just to enrich the lives of our own students, but bring more students from the community onto our campus to see all we have to offer them. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is mpullen007@kctcs.edu. So you just can do mpullen and I'll come up. So feel free to contact me about any of this. I hope this little introduction has been somewhat helpful. And I look forward to seeing what's ahead. I'm very excited about this happening.